Hello, YouTube. I want y'all to beware of this beautiful face right here. I want y'all to remember her, keep her family in your prayers. You know, it was a very, very, very tragic, horrible situation. It was very heinous crime what took place to little Shaniya Davis. I'm from North Carolina, and this is where the gruesome crime took place. And I'm doing this to raise awareness. You know, how we have to protect our children. And, you know, unfortunately, her father has also lost another child, but he lost that child due to gun violence. You know, he was doing the best that he could as a father, you know. But as far as Shaniya Davis goes, the little girl that I'm showing you, you know, her mother put her in harm's way. And I'm gonna show y'all the story. Shaquille O'Neal, he helped pay for her funeral. And you know, I think about her often, especially when I go by, you know, the neighborhood where she used to live. Like I said, this happened in North Carolina, you know, probably about 40 miles or so away from my home. So, y'all keep Shaniya Davis in your prayers, and, you know, the family. And, I'm going to be doing this topic on Shaniya Davis, but she's a beautiful child. So, here it goes, y'all.
Joining us exclusively from Fayetteville is Shaniya's father, Bradley Lockhart, and his sister, Carrie Lockhart Davis. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Bradley, let me begin with you. What are police telling you this morning about the latest in the search for your daughter?
They're keeping me informed, however, they're not providing a lot of information. I do understand it's in the best interest of the case in finding my daughter and bringing her home safely.
Are you feeling hopeful this morning?
I've been feeling hopeful every day that someone out there would do the right thing and take my daughter somewhere, to a hospital, police station, just anywhere safe, drop her off at Walmart, anywhere, I don't care. Just so somebody can find her and bring her back to the people that love her.
Before she recently went to live with her mom, the two of you had been raising Shaniya for most of her life. Tell me about her, Bradley.
Oh, she's a precious little angel. She's full of joy, a little reserved when she first meets you, but once she gets to know you, she just runs around, plays, and won't leave you alone. She's just a happy little angel.
Shaniya Davis is fighting to get his conviction overturned. Mario McNeil was convicted by a Cumberland County jury back in 2013. The young girl was killed in 2009. You may remember her mother was also convicted for trying to sell the child to McNeil and allowing her to be sexually abused. Now, according to the Fayetteville Observer, McNeil says his lawyer should not have told police where to find the girl, saying it hurt his case. A hearing on the matter is set for next week.
To this wooded area Monday, where searchers discovered a small body.
And the dogs were showing a lot of interest, so we checked it out and confirmed, and yet
Believed to be that of missing 5-year-old Shaniya Davis.
I can only speak at this time to that. It seems to be a child, so that's all I can say at this point. I hate to make any assumptions. Again, we're going to wait until we exhume that body, get it to the medical examiner's office, get a positive identification on it.
Davis was reported missing nearly a week ago by her mother, 25-year-old Antoinette Davis.
Read these charges under these circumstances.
Monday, police charged the missing child's mother with human trafficking and felony child abuse. Investigators believe young Shaniya had been offered for prostitution. Davis's aunt had this to say about the case.
You can't stop people from saying things. You don't know whether they're true or not. But if they don't have any proof of it, they really should not be saying that.
The missing girl was last seen on this security video at a hotel along with a man who police believe is 29-year-old Mario McNeil. McNeil has been charged with kidnapping. Police say he admitted taking the little girl, but McNeil
O'Neill's current lawyers claim the ones who represented him during his trial were ineffective and ruined his claim of innocence. A Cumberland County jury deliberated for less than an hour in 2013 before recommending that he be sentenced to death for the killing of 5-year-old Shaniya Davis. Davis's body was found several days after she was reported missing in some woods south of Sanford. The 5-year-old's mother was also sentenced to 17 years in prison. This came after investigators learned she traded her to McNeil to pay off a $200 debt. During his trial, McNeil offered no evidence, did not want anyone to testify on his behalf before sentencing, and prevented his lawyers from offering any closing arguments to jurors. As for today, the 7-member Supreme Court will hear arguments beginning at 9:30 this morning in Edenton.
And as I stated, Shaquille O'Neal was so moved by Shaniya Davis's murder, he paid for her funeral. And, you know, that was a good step because a lot of celebrities and stuff, you know, they don't help people out like that. So, that good, shout out to Shaq, you know what I'm saying? So.
The Shaniya Davis case, probably the most recognizable case that we've had in the last 10 to 15 years here in Cumberland County. Shaniya was a 5-year-old little girl. Shaniya was abducted from her mother's home. She was taken to a hotel in Sanford about an hour away where she was sexually assaulted. And then the defendant, Mario McNeil, instead of bringing her back to her home, killed her and discarded her body near Sanford. Unfortunately, what we determined is that it was a case of sex trafficking. The mother had willingly given over Shaniya for the purposes of sex to repay a debt that she had owed the defendant. When thinking about what she went through during those couple of hours that she was abducted, sexually abused, and then murdered, it was just heart-wrenching.
The formation of the community plan started early 2016. I think it was in August. The conversations started in 2013. We were watching the rates of child abuse and neglect go up.
I always say the shelf life for a good youth services detective is probably less than 5 years because it bothers you so much. And because we never talked about it. You know, we didn't make any change, but I think that we are now. I think our eyes are open, as hard as it is.
There is some good that came from this terrible incident. I know that Shaniya's family feels that way, that there's awareness brought to this issue. Hopefully it prevents other situations, and also it helps get justice in other situations where something terrible like this occurs.
Joining us exclusively from Fayetteville is Shaniya's
time, the loss of a child.
8 years after the body of 5-year-old Shaniya Davis was found in Sanford, her older half-brother was shot and killed. Deputies in Hope County say 20-year-old Chavez Lockhart was shot Wednesday night and died at the hospital.
CBS North Carolina's Amy Cutler has more from Rayford.
It was around 9:30 Wednesday night when the Hope County Sheriff's Office was called to this trailer park off Mockingbird Road. Neighbors say they heard the gunshot. When they came outside, they saw a car off the road. The driver had been shot.
That's where they pulled him out at, and then they pulled him up here, but his car went off down there.
Authorities rushed that young man to the hospital, where he died. They've identified him as 20-year-old Chavez Lockhart, the half-brother of Shaniya Davis. Authorities confirming they share a father. The 5-year-old's death made national headlines back in 2009. She was raped and murdered after her mother sold her to pay off a debt.
I'm sorry about that.
We came here to Fayetteville to the house where Lockhart lived. Family members, too distraught to go on camera, tell us he was a good guy with a lot of potential. Family members asking folks to keep them in their prayers as they grieve this second loss. Back in Rayford, neighbors weren't surprised.
They love me in and out all the time.
Authorities haven't said why Lockhart was at that trailer park, but they're asking anyone with information to give them a call. In Rayford, Amy Cutler, CBS North Carolina.